Welcome to the Ultimate Collector's Guide for World of Warcraft. I'm Killax, currently rank 1 in mounts across North America, rank 1 in legitimate titles worldwide, and sitting at 95% total game completion. With over 72,000 hours played, I've dedicated myself to collecting everything in this game, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to do the same. With player housing and neighborhood systems coming in the Midnight expansion, loaded with cosmetic rewards, decoration, and personalized spaces, the time to become a serious collector is right now. This guide will be your go-to reference to prepare before that launch. Bookmark it, watch it twice. Because if you're here, you're probably not just a casual player. You're not farming a mount here or a toy there, you're chasing it all. Achievements, mounts, pets, titles, toys, transmogs, reputations, recipes, quests, the entire world. This is the completionist mindset, and it's the foundation of becoming a true World of Warcraft collector. This isn't just another casual farming guide. This is a full in-depth breakdown of how to become one of the most efficient and elite collectors in World of Warcraft, from the best by the best. This video is extremely long, detailed, and packed with everything you need to push towards true 100% completion. If you're one of my regular viewers, you already know I love to yap, so feel free to use the timestamps below to jump to any section you want. And don't forget, if you want to ask questions, share your collection progress, or just be a part of my community that lives and breathes WoW collecting, join my Discord. Whether you're chasing rare mounts, transmogs, toys, secret achievements, or simply trying to climb the completionist ladder, I'm going to walk you through every strategy, add-on, route, and resource that I personally use to stay at the top of the game, without burning out and without quitting your job or your daily life. Let's dive into what it really takes to become a master completionist. Before we get into the main guide, we need to talk about one of the most essential add-ons any collectors should have, which is called AllTheThings, ATT. This add-on tracks nearly everything in the game: mounts, pets, toys, appearances, quests, achievements, everything. But before you dive in, you'll need to decide what kind of collector you are. Are you only collecting on your main class, or are you going to all in and collecting everything account-wide? Once you've made that decision, go ahead and enable account mode if you're collecting across all characters. Then I recommend copying the general settings that I use for my ranked streamlined layout. Make sure you enable mount modifications. This includes things like dragon writing manuscripts, okay? I also personally track followers and companions, but you can disable these if you want a cleaner UI, since they're not ranked or competitive. You can also enable, now we're going to go here to the right and right click ATT. The first thing we're going to do is go at the top right under the title, and we're going to click this drop down and we're going to click ranked. This is going to automatically change some settings, but then you want to copy every single setting that I have. The settings that might vary for you are the expansion things. You do not have to track any of these. These are optional. They are not ranked on websites, but it's something that I like to track to collect as well. Okay. The next thing is going to be plus sources. This is going to differentiate between tracking every single ID of every single transmog in the game. Right, every single transmog appearance has multiple appearances, anywhere between 1 to 5 to even 10 appearances per item. Okay, this is going to track every single unique ID. So if we see here, total completion, I have 92. If I uncheck this, it goes up to 96%. Okay, same for pally mode, 97.6%. But if I check this, it's going to go down because I obviously need more items, 95.7%, okay? But for now, we're going to keep it account mode. We're going to click plus sources. If you're playing on not account mode, which is just a character that you're on, you want to make sure you click these blue check boxes, all of them, and make sure they're lit up. This is going to track every other class of the same class on the account to make sure you don't have to do the same thing 2 or 3 times. The other thing you can do here is you can go to interface, and at the bottom right, by default, it starts like this. It shows every single item and what you have out of what there is, right? You want to check show remaining things. This will declutter everything and it'll make the UI look 100 times better, and it'll show you only the items that you are missing, okay? It's going to make it look much nicer, much cleaner. It's going to make it look a lot less overwhelming, because this add-on is extremely overwhelming, especially if you're just starting to get into it. If you're just getting into collecting, having an add-on like this is extremely overwhelming, and more often than not, people don't know where to start when it comes to collecting, right? Because there's so many things to do in the game. The other thing about this add-on, guys, is you can use the sync feature if you play more than one account. Automatically sync account data. Make sure you do these settings on both accounts, and then you can add specific characters to automatically link whenever you are logged on both of those characters at the same time. Keep in mind, guys, this add-on is extremely massive and it's extremely taxing on your computer. It uses an absurd amount of data and CPU processing power and should only be kept on 24/7 if you have an insane computer, right? Or you're not raiding, you're not doing Mythic Plus. Even I have a crazy computer and I turn this off during during serious raiding, okay? You can go to CurseForge or whatever app you use and just look up all the things. Just download the add-on. The other add-on that we're going to talk about here, guys, is a 2-for-1. It's a website plus an add-on. It's called WoWthing. We're going to search up WoWthing and we're going to download WoWthing Collector. Keep in mind, guys, I'm going to have these linked down in the description bio for you guys to easily download. And then we're going to go up to the website for WoWthing. This website should become a staple to your everyday collector resource. This is the most overpowered website that I've ever seen in my entire life for collecting, and I wish I would have I just found this last week, and I wish I would have found this years ago. Oh my god. Now we're going to go here to my page, right? We're going to go to upload data and just follow the instructions. Very, very clear instructions on how to do this. Make sure you upload your file first. After you upload it, wait a couple minutes, relog in WoW, whatever. And then once you have everything uploaded, or your files and everything, you're going to refresh character list every now and then to upload your in-game profile. We're going to go down to auctions at the bottom left, or whatever you want to check out. It has a ton of collection and completionist stuff here you can check out. But for the most part, what this website is overpowered for is actually the auction house, right? So you can check missing mounts, you can check missing pets, toys, appearance IDs, appearance resources. So as we can see, if we go to missing appearance resources, we can see here that this item that I still need, that I do not have on my account, is 10,000 gold on Blackwing Lair. So I'm 100% going to go buy that after this video. Okay, guys? So use this website to your advantage to buy whatever you want. All right. Another question you might be asking yourself is, why should you even do this? Let's be honest, this path is not easy. So before you dive in head first, ask yourself the most important question. Why do you want to complete it all? Why do you want to collect this, collect that? For some players, it's about the thrill of completion. Climbing to rank 1 on mounts or title leaderboards or anything else. Showing up on websites like Data for Azeroth, Raider.io, or even Warcraft pets. It's all about the grind and showing it off. For others, it's about legacy. It's about building an account that stands the test of time. Something no patch, no meta shift, no expansion can reset or ever take away. You have that and it's yours forever. And then there's the quiet ones, the personal completionists, the ones doing it just for themselves, not for rankings, not to flex, just for the pure satisfaction of seeing that one last collectible checked off the list, or getting that +1. That's what it is to me. It's personal. It's about growth. It's about proving to myself that I can finish something most players will never even attempt or even think about. If you're watching this, chances are you felt that as well. Let's talk about the 3 collector types. Now, generally speaking, I'd say there are 3 main types of collectors you'll see. There's the number 1, the leaderboard chasers. This is where you're in it for the rank. You want to see your name climb up on Data for Azeroth, Raider.io, Warcraft pets, and every leaderboard that tracks collectors or items. Number 2 is the legacy builders. You're crafting an account that gets better every single expansion. You're not rushing, but you're always moving forward one collectible at a time. And final, third one is the personal completionists. You don't care what anyone else is doing. Your satisfaction comes from just finishing what you want to do, from knowing nothing was left behind. There's no wrong reason. What matters is that you have one, because when the grind gets slow, and trust me, it will, your reason is what keeps you going, and it's what keeps you grinding. The other thing we're going to talk about is completionism versus casual collecting. Let's start with something simple but fundamental. What's the difference between casual collecting and true completionism? Casual collecting is reactive. Not retroactive, sorry. You see a cool mount drop, awesome, you loot it. Notice a new pet in your journal, you might go after it. It's fun, it's spontaneous, and it's not structured. Completionism, on the other hand, is proactive. It's strategic. You're not just grabbing things as they pop up. You're building a system, a routine. You set goals. You track progress. You route your dailies. You route your day-to-day job. You make sure nothing slips through the cracks. The short-term dopamine hits are great. Opening a vault and seeing that rare drop, it's addictive. But completionism isn't about luck, it's about delayed gratification. You have to think like a long-term investor. The rarest rewards in World of Warcraft aren't about RNG most of the time. They just take weeks, months, even years of consistency. You're not playing for today, you're playing for the finish line. Let's break that mindset down into 3 practical tiers. Number 1 is short-term completion goals. Daily or weekly tasks you can knock out consistently. Things like event bosses, raid lockouts, pet battle objectives, daily callings or world quest, weekly trading post rewards. Number 2, midterm completion goals. These are things, limited time content with deadlines or rotations, right? Things like collector bounty events that's going on right now, holiday events like Brewfest, Love is in the Air, Hollowed End, Timewalking weeks, expansion remix events that happens every now and then since MOP remix, Legion remix coming up soon, monthly trading posts, right? These are limited time things, patch limited collectibles, right? Now, the third one is long-term completion goals. This is where true completionists live. The grind that spans entire expansions, years, decades, or your whole WoW career, right? These are things like 500 plus mounts, 100,000 honorable kills, 400 pets level to 25, 10,000 quests completed, all reputations exalted, every title, every toy, every transmog across every single patch. This breakdown helps set the stage for everything that follows. Whether you're focusing on the week-to-week progress or multi-expansion projects, structuring your goals is the foundation of collecting like a pro. If you take one thing away from this guide, let it be this: do not burn out. Completionism is a long game. It's not about how much you can do today, it's about how long you can stay consistent. I'm sitting at around 95% total game completion right now, according to AllTheThings. But that didn't happen overnight. It took me over 20 years, expansion after expansion, to get here. And I promise you this, the only reason I have ever made it this far is because I learned how to pace myself and avoid burning out. My key strategies for staying consistent without losing your mind are as this: rotate your goals, avoid tunnel vision, don't grind just one category until you hate it. Mix it up weekly, right? Farm pets this week, mounts next week, maybe knock out some achievements after that. Keep the content fresh that keeps you engaging. Number 2, play for the small wins. Set micro goals, things you can finish in one session, right? Over one day or over 1 week. 1 rare farm, 1 rep cache, Paragon box, 1 dungeon clear. Track your progress visually. Use tools like Data for Azeroth, AllTheThings, or Altaholic even. When you see bars filling up and numbers ticking forward, it helps reframe your mindset from grind to momentum and constant satisfaction from dopamine hits. If you didn't get any rare today, you moved forward. You still killed that rare. Respect your real life, okay? I see so many people get so delved into this game that they start to ignore their real life. Only have an hour today, that's okay. Still feel burned out, that's even more okay. Take a full day off. There's no guilt here. You'll come back sharper, happier, and more motivated tomorrow. Burnout isn't noble, it's not progress. It's just you hurting your own momentum and making it so you don't want to play the game. The final reminder here is the beauty of collecting in World of Warcraft is this: there's always something to grind. You will never run out of +1s, ever. I promise you, you will never run out. But the moment you start resenting the grind, even logging in feels like a chore instead of a choice, that's your signal. Step back, recenter, come back when you're ready. Because this isn't a race, it's a lifestyle, okay? I play World of Warcraft 10 to 15 hours a day. Every single day, sometimes even up to 20 to 30 hours. And I've done that for over 20 years. The only time I have ever played less than that was when I was in the Navy, and even then, if I had spare time to log in, I took it. But even with that kind of grind, I still take care of myself. My daily routine includes always staying hydrated, constantly reminding myself to drink water, daily exercises, taking my vitamins every single day, hygiene, quality of sleep, mental breaks, chill time, and even checking in with family and friends. Having a social life is extremely important, and it's good for your sanity. If you want to go all in on WoW, that's great, but your real life still matters, and honestly, taking care of yourself makes you better in-game. Build a schedule that lets you grind IRL and in-game. If you've got a job, focus on your job, then hit the gym, then log in and get to WoW, work in WoW. When you do log in, get into the habit of going full send. No AFKing, no idle time, no random chilling. You're here to grind, but also know when to step away. Your mental fatigueness is real. If you're feeling drained, mentally or physically, take the day off. 1 minute session won't hurt you, but forcing yourself to play while burned out, that's how you ruin your momentum in this game. Collecting never ends, and that's the beauty of it. So pace yourself, set your own tempo, and remember, this isn't a race, it's a lifestyle. One of the most common questions I get is, how do you do all this without playing 20 hours a day? And this is the answer. You really don't need to. Whether you've got 1 hour or 10 plus hours a day, the key to becoming an efficient completionist is structure. It's not time played. I've met collectors who only log in a couple hours a week and they still make insane progress. Why? Because they play with intention. So let's break down how to optimize your time no matter what kind of schedule you have. If you only have 1 hour a day, this is the most common scenario, and trust me, you can still complete 90% of the game with just a few focused hours a day. Your priority should always be time-limited content first. Always knock out high priority, short window objectives, trading post tasks, collectors bounties objectives, time walking weeklies, all-day event bosses, stuff like that. 1 micro goal per session. Set 1 daily win, 1 rare farm, 1 dungeon clear, 1 pet battle, or even 1 mount clear attempt. Log in with a plan. Don't play on vibes. Don't play with. You need to play with purpose. Know exactly what you're doing before you enter the world. If you have 10 plus hours a day, this is where things can actually get dangerous, because more time doesn't always mean more progress. In fact, if you're aimless, you'll burn out even faster. Your structure should always be split time into blocks. For example, this is something that you can do, and it's gonna differ based off the progress of your account and what you need to do, right? You can do 2 hours of mount runs, you can do 1 hour of rep grinding, 15-20 minute break, 2 hours of farming toys or pets, 1 hour of transmog cleanup, and finish with low effort checklist items like things that you can knock out in a couple of minutes. Cycle content to stay fresh. Always rotate between expansions, categories such as mounts into pets into achievements, and character roles, right? You can swap between alts for transmogs to keep things fresh, keep things fun. If you want to run the same dungeon and raid over and over, swap between alts and run that same dungeon raid over and over. One pro tip you can do is, even with all the time, don't waste it on low value content just because you can. Always start with limited time events, lockout based farms, RNG heavy grinds with low drop rates. Efficiency is not about how many hours you play, it's about how much progress you make with the hours you have. A focused 1 hour collector will always outperform a scattered 10-hour grinder. And here's the truth, most players, even completionists, aren't playing full time. We have jobs, we have families, other games, and even real life priorities. So this guide is not about no-lifing WoW, it's about mastering your schedule. Play smart, not just long. Because if you're structured and consistent, I promise you this, you will complete this game eventually. 1 piece at a time. Honestly, that's copium. It's not possible to complete this game, but you can aim for at least like 99% completion. Man, I actually love this zone. This expansion is amazing. It's one of my favorite expansions. One of the first questions you ask yourself, guys, as a collector is, where do I even begin? What should I prioritize? There are so many things in this game. I don't know where to start. I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to do this anymore. And the answer is simple. You start with what matters the most to you right now. Not just what's exciting, but what's about to be gone. Start with seasonal and expiring content. Always, and I mean always. Start with limited timed content always. These are things that will disappear next patch, next tier, next season, or next year. If you miss them, you may never get another chance, or you'll be stuck waiting an entire year or more for a second shot. Prioritize these first. PvP achievements. Ahead of the curve, cutting edge only exists during active raid tiers. Okay? Miss it and they're gone permanently forever. You can never get them back. Limited time events, trading post rewards, remix server events such as MOP remix, Legion remix, collector's bounty rotation that's going on right now. A lot of this stuff is exclusive and may not ever return again. Holiday mount and toys, Love Rocket, Headless Horseman, Brewfest Bram, Winter Veil pets. These are once a year chances with extremely limited windows. Although some of them still come back year to year, you really only have a couple of days, sometimes weeks, to get these things. Now, why these matter is because you don't want to get serious about collecting only to find out that you missed something with no way to ever get it back. So before you dive into your long-term goals, check the calendar, look at the events tab, and always knock out the temporary stuff first, because nothing feels worse than missing a collectible that never comes back. My personal advice and my personal priority system is that I collect everything in this game, but I don't chase it all at once. Even at 95% completion, I follow a strict structure to stay focused and avoid burning out. Here's my priority list and something that I personally use to guide my collection season after season after season. I go for seasonal and timed event limited content first, into mounts, into titles, into achievements, into pets, into toys, into reputations, into transmogs, into recipes, into quests. This is my priority list. This list helps me stay organized and avoid wasting time on low priority grinds when there's limited time content available. If you're new to collecting, don't try to juggle everything at once. Just pick 1 or 2 categories that sound fun to you and go all in on it. Start with achievements. These are easy to track and they naturally guide you into every single aspect of the game. Start with mounts. Visually satisfying and addicting. Nothing beats the feeling of seeing your mount collection stack up, okay, and using whatever mount you've acquired. Once you're comfortable, start expanding your checklist. Add titles, maybe toys, then pets. Before you know it, your collection will start growing in every single direction. At the end of the day, collection takes time, takes patience, and takes consistency. You're not going to hit 100% overnight. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I still find new things to farm, and I am nowhere near 100% completion. So don't stress about perfection. Focus on progress. Pick what excites you the most right now, and build your collection one goal at a time. The results will speak for themselves as you play the game and grind. Achievements are the foundation of WoW completionism. They're not just checkboxes. They're the glue that ties everything else together. And if you're just getting started, this is exactly where you should begin. And here's the real reason we're starting with achievements in this guide. They unlock everything. You farm achievements, you'll naturally start earning mounts, toys, pets, titles, transmogs, reputations, quest progress, recipes, and even feats of strength. That's why most collectors start with achievements or mounts, because they naturally lead you into every collectible and aspect of the game. We'll talk about one of the most fun things and obscure things in WoW, and that's part of the system, which is hidden achievements. These are puzzles, secrets, and hidden collectibles Blizzard doesn't put on the map. And they're kind of hidden, and most players don't even know about them. Some popular examples are the Lucid Nightmare, which is a multi-zone puzzle that ends with a unique mount. The Hive Mind, which is a group-based logic challenge for a shared mount that everyone can get together and use together. The Ball Pet Puzzle. This involves zone hopping and solving riddles. The Zereth Mortis Secrets, which is cryptic world elements layered with massive unlocks. And Trading Post Secrets, monthly hidden objectives not listed outright on the main page. Many of these can't be done solo. You'll need teamwork, community help, and sometimes hours of trial and error. When it comes to secret, there's 2 sources that stand out, which is warcraftsecrets.com. Website right here, we can go real quick. Type this in Google. This is a massive archive of detailed secret guides. It has every single item in the game. You can go here and you can check it out, and it teaches you exactly how to get whatever you're after. The other thing is the WoW Secret Finding Discord. This is a community dedicated to solving Blizzard's toughest puzzles, and often before it's even publicly known. I'll link both in the description. Use them to find groups, share progress, or contribute to new discoveries. Achievement hunting isn't about grinding 16 hours a day. It's about finding a sustainable rhythm, a routine. One you can repeat every week, every day without burning out. Here's a sample rotation that I've used myself in the past, right? And this can be anything, any sort of goal, literally anything, okay? Mondays, start with glory runs and zone clears. Start the week with older dungeons and raid metas like Glory of the Legion Hero, Glory of the Oldar Raider. After that, pick a zone you haven't completed and work on the exploration or the quest achievements or transmogs in it. Tuesday, Legacy Raid achievements. With a weekly reset, this is the best shot at older raid mechanics. Focus on achievements like don't stand in fire, do X mechanic this correctly, do this, or save the NPC and do this. Always pair this with mount runs for maximum efficiency. If you don't get achievement 1 mount run, just try it again next mount run, right? Knock out 2 things with 1 stone. Wednesday, PvP progression. Knock out your honor cap, solo shuffle, or RBG games. Start chipping away at 100,000 honorable kills, battleground mastery, or vicious saddle progress, or get that 1800 or 2100 transmog on a class you've always wanted to play or try out. Thursday, secrets plus pet battles. Work on hidden achievements like Lucid Nightmare, Ball, or Mindworm, then swap gears and focus on Family Familiar, Pet Leveling, or Pet Battle dailies. Friday, World Events and Holiday Metas. If there's a holiday, now's the time for meta achievements like Hallowed Be Thy Name or the Lovefold. If not, work on zone-wide metas like Rare Spawns, Treasures, Exploration achievements. Saturday could be your Mythic Plus and Dungeon Challenge. Push towards Keystone Master, Dungeon Hero, or specific feat of strengths like once again like Ready for Raiding type achievements. Also a great time to farm rep, currency, and transmogs or knock out your Timewalking dungeons if Timewalking is going on. Your Sunday could be your cleanup and reputation focus day. Catch up on whatever you missed this week. Cap your weekly vault, or shift focus to reputation grinds, Paragon Cash It, or even the beloved title. Here's something I do even now. Open a notepad file. Write down 5 to 10 different things. Dude, this is what I have personally in my to-do list, and as you can see, I have daily goals of things that I need to do, right? And it might not be as long as yours, but these things can take years sometimes, right? So I still need to get 1800 on some classes. I have to go do this on August 16, this type of thing. The simple act of checking things off builds momentums, confidence, and consistency, right? Write down 5 to 10 simple goals for the week, for the day, and every time you log in, check the list. Every time you finish one, cross it off. Aim for 500 achievement points per week. That's about 70 to 75 points per day, which is totally doable. Start short 1 week, it's no big deal. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Start with this template and build your own style from there. As you grow, you'll learn how to layer multiple goals together, like during Lore Master while farming 10,000 quests, or finishing Family Familiar while leveling pets for collections. Achievement hunting isn't about grinding everything all at once. It's about doing the right things in the right order, consistently paired with certain things. Start with achievements and the rest of your collection will grow without you even realizing it. Mounts are the crown jewel of any collector's profile. They're flashy, they're rare, and they're the first thing other players notice. But if you think mount collecting is just about luck, you're dead wrong. I'm currently rank 1 in mounts across all of North America, and I can tell you from my experience, mount collecting is about strategy, tracking, and timing. In this section, I'll walk you through how to collect every type of mount in World of Warcraft, from dungeon drops and event rewards to vendor purchases, achievements, the black market auction house, and even removed content. If you follow the structure, your collection will skyrocket. Not all mounts are created equal, and knowing what you're targeting helps you plan smarter routes and prioritize harder grinds first. Dungeon drops, classic dungeons with rare mounts, right? Like Vortex Pinnacle, Stonecore, Zul'Gurub. Raid drops, ICC, Uldar, Firelands, mythic only, like Shackle Lurzor, Fellblaze, Inferno, and Taurus. World bosses, Shah, Nalak, Undasta, Galleon, Shadowlands, and Dragonflight Zone bosses, right? Reputation mounts, Cloud Serpents, Netherwing, Argusian Reach, Maruk Centaurs. Use Timewalking rep tokens to boost all reputations quickly, but try to save these. Try not to actually buy reputation tokens because you can use it to buy other things that are more important on the priority list. Achievement mounts such as Glory of the Raider, Dungeon Hero metas, Keystone Master, Rated PvP, vendor mounts, Timewalking mounts, gold sinks like Brutusar and the Yak, Covenant and Renown based, right? Event mounts, Headless Horseman, Love Rocket, Brewfest Kodo, Rams, Infinite Time Reavers, Infinite Time Wasters in my opinion, from Timewalking dungeons. Black Market Auction House, right? Remove mounts such as the Swift Zillion Tiger, Corrupted Hippogriff, like Proto Drake, rare drops that sell for gold caps. Snipe them smart. Promotional or limited time events, right? Recruit a friend mounts, collector's edition stuff, trading card pre-order bonuses. Mount farming isn't about RNG, it's about reducing wasted time. The more lockouts you run, the more organized your routes will be, the faster your collection grows. Use add-ons to track attempts, right? Rarity tracks kills versus drop rates. Saved instances monitors your weekly lockouts so you can have a more organized and less brain power using processing to track your alts. All the Things shows visual progress by zone, expansion, and type. Route your farms by continent to save time, right? Eastern Kingdoms loot, for example. While you're in Eastern Kingdom, run Zul'Gurub, Karazhan, Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, and Nefarian raid. All are in the same area. Why not run all of them when you go to run one of them, right? Do Northern IC loops. Do ICC, Vault of Archivon, TOTCG, Uldar, right? You're in the same area. Why, if you have some time, why not run all of them in a loop? Kalimdor loop. Do AQ40, Firelands, Shetek Halls, Legion loop. You can do Nighthold, TOS, EN, and Taurus. Most collectors waste time going after these easy stuffs, right? Mounts from vendors, rep grinds, or low effort rares. These won't really push your percentages fast if you're starting off. Instead, focus on low drop rate mounts early, prioritize lockout based and timed limited content, and farm during collector's bounty or bonus drop windows. Check out my collector's bounty guide in the description. Drop rates are often boosted during these events. That's when you farm things like Chakard Oz or Abyss Worm or Virtuous Drake, not Timewalking vendor mounts, right? Set realistic weekly goals like do 10 raid lockouts across all your alts, 1 black market auction house snipe, 3 Paragon boxes if you have the time to play for that rep, 1 holiday boss a day if it's available, 5 dungeon loops, right? Do 5 daily dungeon loops, stuff like this. An example of a weekly rotation would be Monday run Zul'Gurub, Karazhan, Molten Core, Black Malaria, and Nefarion. Tuesday run Legacy Raids, ICC, Oldar, Turmo Sargeras. Wednesday focus on world bosses. Thursday do black market auction house scouting and bidding for items you need if you have a ton of gold. Friday rep turn-ins and Paragon boxes day. Saturday achievement mount runs like glory metas, knock them out slowly over time. Sunday could be your toy or transmog grind to build up your completionist. Use specific alts like druids that use the fastest travel and stealth, paladins or hunters that easily solo content, demon hunters that can use vertical skips in certain raids and mobilities. Examples, right? You can, with demon hunters, you can skip a lot of the bosses in Karazhan and ICC. Check out my fully in-depth complete guide on how to make the fastest character in WoW to effectively grind on down in the description. Anyone can hit 300 mounts just by playing long enough, but getting the 700, 800 or more, that takes structure, that takes planning, and you want to track everything. Plan smart. Prioritize the hard stuff early, and above all, stay consistent. Mount farming is one of the most rewarding parts of the collector journey. Do it right and you'll stand out from the rest. Transmog is one of the most expansive and time-consuming collection system in World of Warcraft. But thanks to the Warbound Transmog update, it's also never been more accessible. This change alone can save you thousands of hours long term. You're no longer limited by class or armor type when unlocking appearances, and that makes farming more efficient than ever before. Here's a little known trick if you're using alts to farm vendor appearances. Some expansions have a ton of vendor appearances, and when you're crossing between your accounts, spam buying vendor items, you don't really want to wait that 2-hour window, right? When you buy an item that your current class cannot equip, it gets a 2-hour timer on it. During that time, the transmog item is not actually learned on your account, even if it's in your bags. If you log into another alt, the item will still show as not collected, and you either need to wait or equip it to learn the appearance. To skip the timer and unlock it instantly, you can enchant the item. Any enchant will bind the item to you, remove the timer, and instantly flag the appearance as learned on the account. This is perfect for speed farming vendor sets across alts. No need to sit around for 2 hours between switches. Make sure the item is enchantable. Some very low level or cosmetic pieces won't work, but even a basic enchant is enough. Here's something most casual players don't realize, and it's extremely important. If you care about transmog rankings, when you loot an item and learn its appearance, you've unlocked that visual look account wide. But many appearances are shared across multiple items. They may look identical, but they have different item IDs. And here's the kicker. Websites like Data for Azeroth, AllTheThings, and WoW Collection count each of these item IDs separately for collection rankings. So even if you unlock the appearance once, you can still collect other versions of it, and each one will boost your total. That means that 2 different helmets with the same exact look both count. A dungeon version and world drop version of the same cloak also both count. PvP recolors versus PvE base versions, different IDs, they both count. If you're aiming for 100% transmog, completion, and leaderboard spots, then yes, you need to collect every version of shared appearances, not just the look itself. This is where add-ons like AllTheThings and Can I Mog It are essential. They show which item IDs you've unlocked and what's still missing, even for appearances that look like you already have them. This trips up a lot of new collectors. Items are the physical gear pieces you loot. Appearances are the unlocks that get added to your transmog tab. don't need to keep the item. Just equip it or learn it on a class spec that can use it, and once it's unlocked, it's yours forever. If you're farming current or recent content, always equip an item before upgrading it, right? So for example, if you're farming Undermine on LFR, get an item that's 1 out of 8 track, you want to equip this item, okay, and learn that transmog, and you can upgrade it to 5 out of 8 track to learn the transmog for the normal version of it, right? If you upgrade before equipping, you will lose the appearance previously if you had not equipped it and gotten rid of that 2-hour timer if you looted this in a group, okay? This tip alone can double your unlocks per item drop, right? So always equip an item before upgrading it. Once equipped it, upgrade it to track 5 out of 8 to unlock the next difficulty like normal appearance from an LFR drop. You can do this as well with heroic item to upgrade it into mythic item to get both the heroic and the mythic transmog. If you're new to mod collecting, start with your main class. Open your appearance tab, see what you're missing, and start running content based on that list. Once you fill out your main spec, farm universal pieces, cloaks, weapons, shirts, etc. Farm full tier sets for achievements like Fashionista. Don't skip trading post cosmetics. Many of these are limited if you have extra tender and you don't care about other things in the game. Check vendors like Dark Moon Fair, Timewalking, Black Market Auction House for removed or like random pieces. Just like mounts, most appearances fall into distinct categories. Knowing what you're farming helps you set better goals. Dungeons and raids, for examples, from classic all the way to War Within, PvP sets, elite, honor, gladiator gear, crafted sets, profession gear across different expansions, world drops, BOE, zone specific greens from quests and blues, event sets, holidays, heritage, trading posts, reputation sets, vendor gear tied to exalted reps, trial and starter gear, some removed, some account wide. Every single character in the game unlocks unique transmog appearances, even on a brand new character on trial accounts. So if you're trying to fill in missing appearances, try logging into every class at least once. Add-ons like AllTheThings will instantly show you which class-specific starter mogs you're still missing. It's one of the easiest ways to boost your transmog count without even farming content. You just have to create a character and log in on it. That's it. Instead of running content aimlessly, build a weekly farming routine around lockouts and armor types. Okay? Examples of this could be Tuesday, reset day, target legacy raids and vaults. Wednesday, classic to wrath raids. Thursday, vanilla TBC dungeon loops. Friday, honor gear and low effort transmogs like BGs and timewalkings. Saturday to Sunday, focus on unfinished expansions or mog sets you enjoy farming. As your list shrinks, you'll refine the schedule around what's actually left. You'll naturally start targeting rare pieces, holiday sets, or even black market auction house opportunities. Transmog may be one of the biggest time and gold sinks in WoW, but it's also one of the most satisfying things to complete. It shows your effort, it reflects your style, and with the warbound mogs and smarter farming routes, it's more collectible now than ever. You've probably heard of mount collecting. You've definitely seen transmog farming. But if you're chasing 100% completion in World of Warcraft, there are two categories you can't afford to overlook. That's toys and battle pets. There are over 1,000 toys and more than 1,500 unique pets, and most players either get overwhelmed or ignore them entirely. But if you're serious about completion, you'll need a plan. Let's break down how to collect them efficiently. With farming tips, leveling tricks, must-have add-ons, and rare items to watch for. Before we dive in, let's make the basics clear. Toys are one-time use items with fun or utility effects stored in your toy box collection tab, and they're account-wide if learned. Each character shares its own cooldown. So what I mean by this, if I use this Mana Storms duplicator that has a 2-hour cooldown on this character, if I hop on another character, I can use this toy all over again on that character. They do not share cooldowns. They're account-wide once learned, and they're often found from rares, quests, vendors, achievements, and even the black market auction house. Pets are used for pet battles, achievements, and minigames. Pet battles are literally a game inside World of Warcraft. It is its own entity, and it is so massive you can literally make... It's like Pokemon inside WoW, basically. These come in rarities, families, and have unique abilities. Many of them are tradable or cageable, so always right-click a pet in your journal to see if it is, by right-clicking and putting in cage to see if you can buy it or not, or you can sell it. Often you can go to the auction house and buy a ton of cheap pets instead of having to go out and catch them yourself, which will save you a tremendous amount of time. They're often dropped in zones, dungeons, raid events, or even tied to achievements or bought from vendors. Toys are scattered all over the world, and many are deeply hidden. Start with these key sources, right? Start with zone rares, especially in Legion, BFA, or Shadowlands in Dragonflight. Reputation vendors, look at factions like Timeless Isle, Argusian Reach, The Ascended, Court of Ferondis. Timewalking vendors, buy out toys with Time Warp badges during its appropriate Timewalking rotations. Quest rewards, many are one-time, especially in zones like Icecrown, Suramar, and Tanan Jungle. Achievements, toy box milestones unlock even more. Trading posts, rotate toys tied with events like Hollowed Event, Winter's Veil, and Lunar Festival. Use the AllTheTings add-on to see what toys you're missing and what toys you still need. You'll be shocked at how many are right under your nose. Pet battles are more structured, but with more than 1,500 unique ones, you need to focus your time. Start with these core sources. Wild pets, catch unique pets in every zone and continent. Raid drops like Jikun hatching living fluid spineclaw crabs that are tied to achievements. When you're going for a certain achievement to collect every single pet, you can also get more, rack up your pet tab as well. Dungeon bosses, especially Operation Mechagon, Karazhan, or Court of Stars. Some dungeons even have random pets wandering around inside the dungeon you can catch. Pet vendors, these are polished pet charm currency or Time Warp badges. You can use these to buy more pets. Keep in mind, a lot of these polished pet charm vendor pets are cageable. You can buy them from the auction house. So for example, like the Shadowlands 5,000 polished pet charm pet, you can buy that from the auction house and save yourself having to farm 5,000 polished pet charms. That'll save you a tremendous amount of time. World quests, right? Focus Legion and BFA zones. An add-on you can use to track world quests is called WQ Achievements. This will make a chat pop up in your chat anytime a world quest or item is up that you can go get in the world. So if there's a world quest that gives you a pet that you need or anything like that, or a transmog or a toy or anything, it'll alert you in the chat, hey, go do this. Achievements like metas like familiar, family familiar, zookeeper, raiding with leashes. Use websites like wow-petguides.com. This is a huge cheat code sheet, right? One way you can level pets very, very fast is if you use the right tools, right? So must have add-ons. If we go to CurseForge, we can look up Pet Journal Enhance. This will drastically change the way your dungeon journal is, okay? Another thing you can do is look up Rematch. Download Rematch. Download TD Battle Pet Script, right? TD Battle Pet Script. You can use fast leveling methods, use pet treats, 50% plus 25% bonus items. These stack, guys, and they also stack with your Safari XP hat toy, which you can easily get, right? So we go here, I have it bookmarked. I use it all the time when I level my pets. Use carry strats. Use 2 level 25 pets plus 1 low level in Legion World Quest, for example, to get XP. You don't even have to attack on that level 1 pet. You just have to swap it in for 1 round and then swap it right back out. Train at Garrison, Menagerie, or Dalaran trainers for repeatable fast XP. The best systems in the game right now are Squirt and Super Squirt Day. This only happens once, maybe twice a year, and this is when Squirt lines up with a Pet Battle weekly event. So you're able to level a pet from level 1 to 25 in less than 1 minute at your garrison, totaling 2 pet battles, right? You can use pet battle dungeons like Dead Mines, Wailing Caverns, and Stratholme. Battle Safari, fly zone to zone, capturing and leveling pets on the go. Some of these items are so rare, they only show up once in a blue moon, such as Haunted Memento, Hippogriff Hatchling, Tuskar Kite, or Spectral Tigers on the Black Market Auction House. Miniterial, Baneleague, and Murkablo. These are pets that are tied to promo-only pets from past BlizzCons or tie-ins, right? Items that are often tied to Collector's Edition Blizzard games. So anytime there's a Collector's game that comes out, it usually gives you a pet of some sort. If you have money, you want to buy that. You can also pay with gold, guys. The options are endless to purchase things in game now. Toys and pets may seem like side content, but for collectors, they're part of the core journey. They add flavor, nostalgia, and flex appeal to your account, and finishing them feels like checking off 2 entire side games within WoW. So don't ignore them. Start small, start tracking your missing pieces, and make toys and pets a part of your weekly or seasonal collection loop, because if you're chasing 100% true completion, they're non-negotiable. We're going to go over this website real quick that's insanely overpowered, which is called Zufu. So if you just type Zufu in Google, you can look it up here. And then we're also going to look up Hazel YouTube Guides. She's a very good YouTube content creator that's made a ton of pet battle guides in the past. So you can look up her past pet battles if you want a more visual, verbal guide, which I prefer as well. And then you can use this website called Zufu Pet Guides. So for example, what I want to do here is I want to go to complete this world quest. You have to start somewhere. We're going to go to pet battles. We're going to go to Dragonflight World Quest. We're going to scroll down to Taldrassus, and we have to start somewhere. Now this is going to show the best optimal team lineup for this. And then we could also browse our if you don't have these pets, you can browse our alternatives to see many more pet battles with different pets that will guarantee a win. And it even shows the success rate. Okay, we're going to go down here to Taldrassus and left click TomTom, and this will automatically copy where this person is. We're going to type it in chat, and it's going to give us an arrow, and we're going to go there. Okay, keep in mind you want to get TomTom add-on, you want to get rematch and TD pet battle scripts, and you also want to get enhanced journal. Okay, we're going to go here to this guy. We're going to left click him. We're going to go to our pet journal, tab in. Now we're going to create a team for this. Okay, so we're going to look at the website, and we're going to put in Iron Starlet, any level 1 pet, and Amigosa. And we're going to make sure that their abilities are properly aligned with this. So we'll go 1 1 2 1 1 1 2 1. Right now, one of the things you want to do with this rematch add-on, you want to go into options and copy these settings here for leveling queue options. Copy them exactly how I have them, and then you're going to left click to your queue. You're going to click queue, and you're going to fill in queue, and then click yes. This will automatically order any level 1 unique pets that you have to still level on your account. So what's going to happen now is when you create a team with a level 1, it's going to automatically fill in the spot to level that pet. So for example, we want to do this world quest with a level 1 to passively get XP as we're farming polished pet charms. So we're going to left click. We're going to go to teams. We're going to click here, teams, create a new group. In this case, I've already made it, named it Dragonflight. We're going to left click target this mob, and we're going to save team as, and we'll call it you have to start somewhere with this team. And we're going to, under group, we're going to put Dragonflight, and now this team pops up. So anytime you go here, right? Anytime you go here to do this quest and you don't have the proper pets in there, what you can do is go back to your tab and just left click this, and it'll automatically put this in here. Now, the other thing we can do here is we can create a script. We can copy the script from this website. So if you left click script here, what this is going to do is copy a script to your copy pad. We're going to go here, we're going to right click this, and we're going to create script. Paste this in here, and then save. Now this team automatically has a script, and we can right click start pet battle. And as long as you have your auto battle keybinded, so like mine is A, if I just spam press A, it automatically does the pet battle for me. Okay guys, if you're going to collect pets, you need to do this because this will save you so much time and so much brain processing power. Okay, you just spam one button and that's it. Reputation grinding in World of Warcraft isn't just a side objective. It's one of the most foundational systems for any serious collector. Mounts, pets, toys, transmog titles, tabards, achievements, tons of them are tied to factions. Almost every single reputation you get to Exalted has a tabard tied in with it. If you're aiming for 100% completion, rep farming is a long-term commitment you can't ignore. Blizzard is slowly rolling out account-wide reputation with each major new patch. So if you're just starting your collection journey, don't rush into grinding reps right away. It's much smarter to wait, because once reputations become account-wide warbound, reaching Exalted will be drastically faster and easier across your entire alt roster. Focus on seasonal content, mounts, toys, and mogs first. Reps can come later when the system works in your favor. Reputations matter because many faction rewards are unique and unobtainable anywhere else. Achievements like 100 Exalted reputations are major collector milestones. Reputations include unlocks like mounts, toys, pets, transmog items, titles, recipes, in different areas and different zones. Don't pick reputations randomly. Organize them by type and by expansion. Legacy content is soloable, fast, and many have rare rewards. Use Wowhead to track optional farming methods. Most involve mob grinds, dungeon clears, or turn-in loops, or dailies or weeklies even. These reps often guarantee progress with no time gating. Modern reps with time gated content are in BFA, Shadowlands, and Dragonflight. The WoWthing reps are slower and rotate weekly. Focus on World Quest, Emissaries, weekly events, and Paragon boxes. Treat these like background grinds. They build slowly over time, not all at once. If you're grinding Undermine rep, skip the checklist style farming, right? Don't just brain dead mindlessly spam checklist. Just complete World Quests each week and let it passively build up slowly over time. There's no point to rush Exalted. Also plan your grind around active reputation bonuses. They add up very quickly, guys. Darkmoon Fair Top Hat, 10% rep gain for 1 hour. The Wii buff, the carousel buff from Darkmoon Fair, another 10%. The Anniversary Celebration Pack during the anniversary, bonus rep event item. Timewalking Week, bonus rep gain during specific expansion for that specific reputation. Stack these buffs before, right? Turning in quests, running dungeons, or using rep tokens. If you're farming a reputation that requires an item that is a turn-in, here's how to squeeze out extra reputation every time. Stack your turn-in items ahead of time. Wait until Darkmoon Fair is active, then turn them in with the 10% rep buff from the Darkmoon Fair carousel. If you want to go even further, log in on an alt character, get the 10% carousel buff, then log out. That buff will not expire unless you're online ever. So later you can log in and turn in the Warbound rep tokens or other reputation items with that bonus still active on that character. It's an easy way to boost your gains, especially across multiple factions. Every Timewalking vendor sells reputation insignias tied to their certain expansion. Each token gives 250 to 500 rep, depending on type. Use these only to top off factions you're nearly done with that you don't want to wait for. Do not dump your Time Warp badges into rep tokens. They're far more valuable for mounts, toys, pets, and transmog items. You'll need tens and tens and tens and thousands of badges to clear all the vendor items. Grind rep traditionally unless you're closing in on Exalted. Here's a cheat sheet of key reputations by expansion, right? You have Burning Crusade, which has the Shatar, Aldor, Scryer. You have Keepers of Time for Mountain Tabards, the Consortium, Lower City. Wrath of the Lich King has Argent Crusade, Kirin Tor, Knights of the Ebon Blade, Sons of Hodir. Mop has Golden Lotus, Shadowpan, Claxi, Order of the Cloud Serpent. Now you have WAD. WAD is a very cool one because what you can do with WAD, I have most of these hidden because one thing you can do is as you're reaching Exalted, you can hide them. For some reason, Dragonflight and Warwithin reputations, even if you move them to inactive, they constantly pop back up. But one thing you can do is once you reach Exalted on the reputation, you just put it to inactive just to get rid of the clutter. Right, so WAD, you can also buy this item on the auction house. It's called Medallion of the Legion if you have a ton of gold. So we can go up to the auction house and we can look up Medallion of the Legion. And you can buy as many of these as you want. And these give you 1,000 rep with almost all of the WAD dungeons, okay? So buying these to get Exalted will save you a tremendous amount of time in the long run. Reputation farming may not be glamorous, guys, but it's one of the most rewarding grinds in WoW. Treat it like a long-term weekly project, not a sprint. Stack your buffs, rotate focus zones, and track your progress smartly. Titles in World of Warcraft aren't just cosmetics. And if you're like me, chasing 100% completion, titles are some of the most important flexes in the game. Let's start with how titles are structured in World of Warcraft. Most players just see a big list, but as a completionist, you need to categorize and prioritize these. You have PvP titles such as Arena Ratings, Rival, Duelist, Gladiator, Legend, Strategist, Rightful Gladiator, Astral Gladiator. Right? You have RBG titles like Veteran, Hero of the Alliance, or the Horde. Right? Seasonal titles, Crimson Gladiator, Vicious Gladiator, things like that. You have raid titles, Ahead of the Curve, Cutting Edge, mythic boss kills like the Dreamer, Storm's End, legacy feats like the Firelord or the Undying, dungeon mythic plus titles like Keystone Master, Keystone Hero Seasonals, dungeon challenges, titles from MOP, the Warwithin titles like Trade Duke, Reputations, the Exalted, the Argus, the Insane, faction-based titles from grinds or meta achievements. Event and seasonal titles like Brewfest, Brewmaster, Love is in the Air, The Loveful, Holidays and limited timed events. Achievement titles, Explorer, Loremaster, Seeker, meta achievements tied to expansion milestones. Rare and removed titles such as Champion of the Uldar, Hand of Adal, The Immortal. Some of these can't be earned anymore, but knowing what's gone helps shape urgency and focus. Once you know the types, it's time to prioritize based on what's important, which is time sensitive, add risk of removal, extremely RNG heavy, or alt unfriendly. Chase the titles that have a time limit first, then tackles the one that take years to complete. Gladiator titles are only available for one season. The Insane requires Darkmoon Fair rep and such, right? But you can always get that. Loremaster is account wide but time consuming. Here's where we go even deeper. The difference between a casual collector and title god comes down to the discipline and layering. Arc alts at event hubs during holidays to quickly farm event titles. Multi-box or dual account to complete PvP or legacy achievements solo. Be with friends in Timewalking weeks to grab event titles. Buy carry groups for Mythic Plus or Raid if you have the gold, especially at the end of the season when they're extremely cheap. It's okay if you have the gold to buy things, guys. It's not against TOS to buy services in game with gold. Okay? It's actually allowed. Right? If you want to buy a plus 10, a plus 15, a plus 20, if you want to buy an 8 out of 8 Mythic Clear with gold, it's allowed. Make a title roadmap. Print or list every obtainable title you still need. Mark removed seasonal and time sensitive titles specifically, and start with one that aligns with your current gameplay, right? Do you PvP? Do you do Mythic Plus? Do you raid? Do you collect? Work them into your weekly routine. Here's the sad truth, guys. Many of WoW's greatest titles are gone forever. Things like Scarab Lord, Champion of the Naru, the Undaunted, they're all gone. Things that I don't even have, and I wish I had. I wish I had played back then. I wish I had gotten them, but I don't. Even though you can't earn these anymore, knowing what you've missed helps shape how you prioritize what's left. And someone who's literally ranked 1 in titles in the entire world, here's some of the real tips you won't find anywhere else. Keep a spreadsheet or private checklist. Don't rely solely on add-ons. Use downtime smartly. Title farming doesn't need full attention often. Set title weeks where you focus 100% on 1 or 2 goals like the Insane, the Lore Master. Don't ignore PvP. Even casual PvP players can get seasonal titles with enough effort and practice. When it comes to farming recipes in World of Warcraft, the biggest piece of advice I can give you this is get organized. Recipe hunting isn't just about grinding mobs. It's about tracking alts, and managing professions, and being smart with your time. Start by keeping a WordPad, a spreadsheet, or a list of every single alt you have and which professions they hold. Never delete alts that have made any sort of profession or quest progress, because when you delete a character in this game, you may permanently lose data. Things like quest completion, profession-specific recipes, and progress that ranking websites can no longer track. It's like wiping evidence of your work, okay? And you can never get it back, and you can never prove that you've gotten it to these websites. Pair professions by armor type. You want to streamline your profession layout across your account. Here's an optimized setup every single day. Your hunter can be leatherworking plus inscription. Your priest can be enchanting plus tailoring. Your mage can be jewel crafting plus alchemy. Your demon hunter can be skinning, because demon hunters have insane AoE damage and mobility, which equals fast skinning grinding. You can use druids for herbalism and mining, because flight form is extremely overpowered, right? So like my druid Spicy Pepper has mining and herbalism because it has flight form and it can loot these items while I'm flying around in flight form. You can use paladin and warrior for blacksmithing and engineering. You see how I'm keeping it to the armor type for the profession, right? Most professions are tied heavily to reputation vendors. So while you're farming for exalted reputation, you're also unlocking massive recipe banks. Once Blizzard makes legacy reputations account-wide, these vendor recipes will become even easier to collect across all your alts. So grind smart now, and it'll pay off big when that time changes, okay? Some recipes drop off specific mobs or rare elites. Here's what you do. Park your profession alt near mobs that drop profession-specific recipes. Log in every day or every few days, or during a weekly loop to farm them passively slowly over time. This lets you chase ultra rare drops without burning out. Recipes like Sunwell Plateau crafting drops are insanely rare. Don't waste 40 hours grinding one low drop rate recipe early in your journey. Go after the easy recipes. Target the easiest, the most consistent recipe sources, and as your collection gets smaller, your grind becomes more focused, right? Keep everything documented. Never delete progress-based alts. Prioritize easy recipes, vendor unlocks, and event-based resources. Pair your professional work with reputation farming. Be patient and guys, be patient. Some drops are designed to take years. I still need things on some of my characters that I do not have that I have been farming for 10 plus years. Collecting every recipe in WoW is one of the most niche yet rewarding achievements you can chase as a completionist. And trust me, once you're deep into the grind, organization and efficiency are the only things that'll keep you going. One thing you can do, guys, with Data for Azeroth is you can use the recipe subsection here on your account and you can track whatever you need. So as you can see, there are currently 9,704 obtainable recipes in the game. This does not count recipes that you can buy from the auction house right now that are removed from the game. So keep that in mind. You can go here and you can just uncheck collected and uncheck collected on alt, and you could check not collected. And you can go through one by one of every single recipe that you're missing. So as you can see, I'm missing 134 recipes. And if I want to get this bag, it'll tell me where it's from. If I want to go even further, I just left click it and it auto opens Wowhead for me. Tells me what level I need, Northrend Tailoring 60. Sold by this guy, right? And I can go in the comments and I can see some useful comments every now and then based off that. Okay, guys? So make sure you use Wowhead to your advantage with everything you do in this game, because it is extremely helpful. If you're serious about becoming a true World of Warcraft completionist, questing is one of the most important places to start, because quests are more than just story progression. They're a goldmine of hidden collectibles, unique transmogs, toys, pets, mounts, and even titles. There are over 34,000 unique quests still obtainable in World of Warcraft, many of which are faction specific, race, class, level, and even gender specific. If you have or do not have certain items such as Heart of Azeroth, even, right? So some quests even require you to not have Heart of Azeroth, and if you acquire Heart of Azeroth, for example, you can never do those quests ever again on that character. There are also things that are called breadcrumb quests. These are quests that are gone forever if you complete a certain quest beforehand. Generally, some quests will have a go to this person quest first before starting a huge quest line. That is called a breadcrumb quest, and it is often from a person that is out of the vicinity of where you're at already or where you're going. You have to go out of your way to get that breadcrumb quest, right? Some quests are hidden behind obscure prerequisites. Others are tucked away in phased zones or one-time events. Blizzard recently made one of the most important quality of life changes for collectors. Quest rewards are now account-wide. That means that when you complete a quest, any quest, the transmog item it rewards are automatically unlocked for your entire account. No more repeating the same quest line 6 or 7 times, wasting time on prerequisite chain on alts, or farming the same storyline across multiple races or classes over and over and over. Now you can complete that quest once and the rewards are yours forever. Questing isn't just valuable for what it gives, it's also ranked on websites on Data for Azeroth. Some quests require 20 to 50 prerequisites. Specific characters to access, such as Pandarian starting zone, allied race chains, or even faction swaps or class-specific dialogue paths. Start with the major zones that offer unique quest rewards. Use all the things to track quest lines and rewards per character. Don't ignore starter zones. Many are unlocked to race or class. Take advantage of account-wide transmog unlocks to minimize duplicate efforts. One add-on you can use is called BTW Quest. You can look up this item and you can install the main add-on itself, and then you can install whatever expansion you want. And what this will do is in-game, it'll give you a list of every single quest that you've completed. So if I go here, I can see that I've completed every single quest here on this character, but in the Ringing Deeps, I still have sections where I haven't completed every single quest. Okay, so you can use this add-on to target specific quests that you want to complete. The other thing you can use as a tool is Data for Azeroth. Again, we have Here we can check what quests we're missing. So if we're missing this thing called End Bugs, left click it. It brings us to Wowhead, and it tells us, hey, you need to complete this quest first to unlock this quest. And once I complete this quest, I'll have this checked off. Right? So very, very good website to use for quest tracking as well. Quest completing in World of Warcraft, especially as a collector, is a very niche area, and not many people do this, but it has a ton of rewards, and more often than not, every single quest that you complete has a ton of different transmog items. Like, look how many transmog items I'm missing when I go to certain areas here, right? If I click on this on ATT, I can go do these quests right now in like 10-20 minutes, and I'll get like 30 different items. What if I told you that one of the biggest secrets to becoming a top WoW completionist isn't grinding harder, it's multiplying smarter? Your real power as a collector doesn't come from playing one character perfectly. It comes from building and managing an efficient alt army. Having a single main can only take you so far. The moment you start expanding into alts, your efficiency skyrockets. Here's what an alt army unlocks. Multiple weekly lockouts for mounts, toys, pets, and transmogs. More currencies per week. More time warp badges, more polished pet charms. Full profession coverage. Gather, craft, and convert across every single expansion. The rule is simple. The more characters you have, the more loot you collect. And the more you progress, multiplies, right? You don't need 20 characters right away. Start small, start strategic. For example, for your cloth, you can use a mage or a priest. Mage equals portals. Warlock equals tons of exclusive pet skins. Priest equals healing and DPS spec. Leather, you can use druid or rogue. Druid equals stealth plus instant flight form and exclusive form skins. Rogue equals unique pickpocketing mogs and stealth farming, right? Male, you could use hunter or shaman. Hunters equals pet synergy plus soloing ease. Shamans equals tons of exclusive class uniques. Plate, you can use paladin or warrior. Paladin equals fast solo clears and utility. Warrior equals AoE power and access to classic mogs. If you're starting from scratch, don't waste time leveling inefficiently. Some of the best methods are Timewalking weeks, which are great XP and badge farming. Chromie timeline for zone completion and rep gains. Pre-patch events, best time to mass level. Right at the end of an expansion, Blizzard usually has an event going on for about 2 to 3 weeks that you can use to mass level your alts. War mode plus heirloom, stack those XP bonuses. Once you hit 6 plus alts, things start to get chaotic fast. There's add-ons you can use that become mandatory, right? Some must-have alt add-ons are Altaholic and saved instances. These tools will turn your alt chaos into a streamlined collection command center. If you're aiming for 100% transmog completion, alts are essential. Okay, one character per armor type: cloth, leather, mail, plate. Level extra alts for class-specific items. Use Timewalking or expansion pre-patch events for mass leveling. Arts aren't just for logging in, they're tools. Use them to park them at legacy dungeon entrances, weekly raid lockouts, vendors, and event hubs. Each alt gives you more weekly attempts at any sort of content you're grinding. Use trial accounts to scout black market auction house. Create low-level characters to shop transmog vendors on different realms auction houses. You can use your warband feature as well to transfer gold to that character and transfer the items as well once you buy it. Use class-specific alts to target exclusive appearances like Warlock, Hunter, Shaman Uniques, or Rogue Lockboxes. Build it slowly, build it smart, and over time you'll be unlocking more in 1 week than most players do in a month. If you're serious about 100%, about rankings, appearances, and collections, the alts aren't optional. They're essential. They're mandatory. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to create the perfect route. Just start collecting. Every little mock you unlock brings you one step closer to 100%. And once you start seeing those check marks light up in all the things, trust me, it becomes addictive. The transmog grind might feel endless at first, but the more you get it done, the less you have to do. Timewalking isn't about raw gold. It's about mounts, toys, pets, and transmogs, and reputations. If you want long-term repeatable progress towards 100% completion, Timewalking weeks should be on your calendar. Every 3 to 5 weeks, Blizzard rotates an expansion: Burning Crusade, Wrath, Cataclysm, Mist, Warlords, Legion, and now BFA. During that week, your character is scaled to that expansion's level. Every dungeon drops this item called Time Warp badges and a random transmog piece you can actually loot inside the dungeon based off your spec and loot spec. The first dungeon on each character gives a weekly quest worth a big badge chunk and takes you to the currency vendor. In this case, we're in Legion, so we're in Dalaran. Each expansion's vendor sells different badge items. Mounts, toys, pets, transmog items, and reputation tokens, ensembles for transmog. Badge spending priorities should be mounts, toys, pets, and then transmog. Build a small tank spec roster, right? For example, level paladins, DKs, monks, warriors, or druids. Tanks dictate the pace of the dungeon. Run exactly one time walking dungeon per alt per event. First alt of the week is 500 badges, which is a weekly quest. Every alt thereafter is 200 badges, plus dungeon loot badges anywhere between 50 to 100. So you're getting about 250 to 300 badges on average per character. Park alts at the vendor before the event for instant turn-ins. Skip mass grinding on one toon. After the weekly, each run is only about 50 to 70 badges, and it burns you out fast, guys. Run the math. If you do 40 alts for around 250 badges a week, that's 10,000 plus badges every single time walking week. No mind-numbing spam required. You'd need 150 dungeons on a single character to match that instead of 40 runs. Don't have alts yet? Use them to level during time walking. Alright? Create a character, go tank spec, and start queuing up time walking. Use pre-badge events or XP bonuses weeks for speed leveling. Tank queues are fastest and level the quickest. Make them your core. Time walking is a slow burn, high value system, but over a year, planned alt runs will bank tens of thousands of badges with a fraction of the effort traditional grinding takes. If full completion is your goal, lock time walking into your weekly and seasonal rotation and let the badges pile up. World of Warcraft have thousands of collectibles, but what most people don't realize is just how many of them are locked behind your class, race, gender, or even faction. Some of these are tracked on ranking websites, some of them are not. But true collectors knows, if it exists, it counts. There's an entire layer of collectibles tied directly to your class, many of which are not ranked on sites like Data for Azeroth, but are tracked by AllTheThings. Warlocks, for example, you have unique pet skins from dungeons, raids, or quests. Shamans, you have unique hex totem variants. Mages, you have unique sheep variants. Druids, you have shapeshift forms from Legion appearances, glyphs, and artifacts unlocks. Hunters, you have unique pet tomes, manuals, and exotic beasts. Mages, right? Again, different polymorph variants. Some of them that you could buy off the auction house, some of them that you could farm off rares or raids or dungeons. Monks, you have special class books and animations for certain abilities. Paladins and rogues, you have ability tomes and visual variants tied to expansions like Legion or BFA. Even though these don't show up on public leaderboards, they're real collectibles, and collectors absolutely chase them. Sometimes even go deeper, right? Race-specific toys, quests, and racial transmogs. Gender-locked titles or role-playing items such as Matron or Patron from Shadowlands. Alliance versus Horde-only achievements, and faction-exclusive questlines. These are all separately counted in ranking systems. If you want to achieve 100% true completion, you'll eventually need both faction, multiple races, and even male and female alts to cover everything in the game. Right? Mounts, pets, titles, toys, and transmogs are all ranked. These are collectibles, but they are not ranked, such as class spell variants, hexes, sheeps, pet skins, glyphs, soul shapes from Shadowlands, Night Fate only Covenant. These are not ranked, but they're cool collectibles to have. Weapon illusions and hidden enchants are not ranked, but they're cool to have. If you're serious about becoming a top tier World of Warcraft collector, whether you're hunting mounts, toys, transmogs, or achievements, running 2 WoWs under the same battle.net is one of the most overpowered methods in the game. When you have 2 WoW licenses under one battle.net account, for example WoW 1 and WoW 2, nearly all collectible progress is shared thanks to the Warbound system. Now keep in mind, you must have 2 active WoW subscriptions. Each license is separate, and both licenses must be tied to the same BNet account. So what I mean by this is when you go up to your BNet launcher and you have your account, you have to make sure that both accounts are under this drop down menu, right? This is how you can tell if both BNet's accounts are linked. Ideally, you want 2 monitors as well, or a multi-window layout to play simultaneously so you can tab in and out of both screens easily. Now remember guys, this is a collector's dream. Running twice the amount of old raids for mounts, transmogs, Timewalking dungeons for currency events or toys, world bosses for rare mounts or appearances, weekly events, holiday events. You can simultaneously run 2 characters through the same dungeon or activity and cut your farming time in half. Set up alt characters to be permanently stationed across the world on both accounts. This will allow you to enable daily rare spawns checks without travel time, quick access to the old raid entrances, black market house vendors, instant teleport farming routes using multiple warps and Hearthstone setups. Right, so as you can see, I'm here on my Pally Dalaran, and I can quickly tab in and out in between both characters. An example setup of this would be having account A alt at Zul'Gurub for Transmog farm, and then having account B alt at Shah of Anger for mount checks every now and then, every 15 minutes, and swapping between alts on that account to try your luck at getting a Shah mount. Do both at the same time. Log in, kill, log out, repeat. All right. You can also self group by listing a custom group on a second account and joining it on the other. This allows you to instantly convert to a raid. There's no need to search or wait for other people to help you join a raid. This is useful for world boss tagging, cross-faction group or farming, and joining raids that require you to actually be in a raid. This normally only happens to up-to-date raids, not so much legacy raids. So I can show you here, I can list myself, even though I'm Horde on this character and I'm Alliance on the other character. If I listed in Legacy, I can start here, go to Molten Core, and just type Killax. List. If I tab in on my alt account, I go to Raids Legacy and I type in Killax. It pops up here and I can sign up and I can invite myself and I can do whatever I want with this theory. Okay, many tedious achievements can be grinded on both accounts as well simultaneously. So 1,000 world quests completed, 5,000 pet battles, not so much the pet battle ones actually, because pet battles is locked per account, but cross bouncing between accounts and pet battling on one account gives credit on this account. 1,000 PvP kills, examples like that. Instead of 1 attempt per login, you now have 2 attempts per PlayStation, or even a few minutes, or even every few minutes if both accounts are active. You can park account A near rare A, park account B near rare B, and check both of them in seconds. Log in on one character just to check every second. You can create an entire rare patrol network across multiple characters and regions with this, guys. All the progress you made on both licenses fuels the same warband. Shared reputation and renown as well. Old reputations, when they're available, will work. Shared collections, literally anything in the game will be shared across warbands. What else? You have progress counts for feats like collect X transmog, kill X rares, earn X mounts. These are all cross warband. Some niche uses for this would be trading BOEs or expensive cosmetics directly of using the warbound system if you want to do that, as well as one account invites to a lockout sharing raid, right? If you want to do a ICC mount skip, you can do that with ease in between accounts. You can use a second character to keep a mob tagged while the other loots or resets. You can run split heroics or daily dungeons to double your mounts or quest turn-ins for currencies. During limited time events, you can use one account to loot, the other one to tag mobs. You can run 2 characters in Korthia, for example, Forbidden Reach, Zarlek Caverns at the same time while you're grinding those zones. Running 2 WoW accounts on the same battle.net isn't just efficient, okay? It's game-breaking for serious collectors. It doubles your chances, your speed, and your output, and it makes the long grind 100% feel way more manageable. Whether you're after rare drops, mounts, black market exclusives, legacy mogs, daily rare cures, or just raw efficiency, dual account farming is the secret weapon collectors have. Welcome to the section where the true efficiency begins. If you want to master WoW collecting, it's not just about how much time you put in, it's about how you use it. Double your productivity level by running 2 accounts, right? By running alts while you're doing certain things. Second screen farming while waiting in queues or during downtimes, right, can save you a ton of time in the long run if you slowly do it over time on your second account. When your main waits for a dungeon or a PvP queue, your second account can kill world bosses, check multiple black market auction house, farm rares or pets or event currencies, farm transmogs in old dungeons or raids. This turns passive waiting into active farming. Alt parking mastery, for example. Every collector should learn the art of strategic parking. Rare farming. Park a level 70 next to a rare. For example, park a character next to Soundless or Rustfeather and log in once a day and kill it for your chance at that item. Legacy raid. Station alts at the entrance to key raids like ICC, Throne of Thunder, or Firelands. Holiday events. Park characters at event hubs for the fast daily turn-ins. One parked alt killing a rare for 30 seconds daily is often more valuable than a full 30-minute loop on your main. Same opportunities are realm specific, guys. Maximize by diversifying. Spread your alts across, right? So spread them out across low population realms, which gives you better black market auction house odds. Another thing you can do is put them on high pop servers, which will give you a higher supply of rare events. So like if you're farming the event in Hollowfall, the Nightfall event, you can park a character on a high pop realm there and it will have a ton of players during that event, right? RP realms, you can use RP realms to your advantage. Unique vendor or spawn behavior, right? Or check the auction house. Often RP realms have cheaper auction house items, right? Pair this with a second account to check several realms at once without switching characters. The trap is, guys, running 5 characters to Firelands is faster short term, but there are smarter, better options. Park one alt at the entrance, run it once a week. Same travel time, save travel time to reduce burnout. In the long run, the results converge, but the mental load and weekly effort don't. Efficient collectors don't chase everything at once. They create systems that work over time, okay? If you want to seriously complete World of Warcraft, you'll hit walls of RNG and time gating. Layer these systems with multi-account setups, alt parking logic, realm diversification, and time versus travel cost analysis, right? And also daily micro goals. A single rare kill per day over a month, that's 30 attempts. Over a year, that's mastery, guys. You don't need 12 hours a day to be a top tier collector. You just need to think like one. Some of the rarest and most coveted mounts in World of Warcraft aren't earned through content anymore. They're bought on the Black Market Auction House. The Black Market Auction House is one of the most volatile, cutthroat, and rewarding systems in the game. If you're trying to collect everything in WoW, this is where casual collectors fall off, and true completionists step in. Blizzard uses the Black Market Auction House to recycle removed or ultra rare items back into the game, but with a twist. You're bidding against players, there's no buyout price, and once you bid, you can't take it back. In the WoWthing, the Black Market Auction House is located in Donegal, just to the left of the Ashkahet portal. There's only one Black Market Auction House per realm cluster, and auctions are shared across connected realms. Listings refresh daily, and auctions can last 24 to 48 hours. You can only increase bids by 5% at a time. There's no buyout option, so you'll have to watch each listing until the end. Common Black Market Auction House items include removed mounts like the Swift Zillion Tiger, the Plate Proto Drake, and unclaimed Black Market containers. Check the description below for the websites that explains everything about these items and what they contain. This place can also contain legacy tier sets like this one right here, the Shaman tier 3 from Nax, voice pets and TCG items, and even removed appearances from Brawlers Guild or Warlord promos. The Black Market Auction House is a game of sniping, and here's how to play it smartly. Use odd bidding amounts. Avoid clean numbers. Instead of 5 million, try something like 5,211,000 gold. That extra few hundred gold often stops lazy overbids. Don't bid too early. Hold off until the final minute or seconds before placing your bid. This helps you avoid long bidding wars and save you gold over time. The timers are very precise and very different. Very long equals 12 to 24 hours. Long equals 2 to 12 hours. Medium equals less than 2 hours. And short is about to close. This is normally under 30 minutes. This is your window to strike. Park alts on multiple connected realms, especially low pop ones. Check Black Market Auction House lists daily across different realms. Don't overpay for cosmetics that might return, like trading post transmogs or time walking gear if they pop up on here, or tier 3 sets. Make sure your tier 3 set that you're bidding on is not more expensive than you would be if you were just crafting it. Okay. Look for low competition hours like Sunday night or Monday morning when activity drops. Sunday is a great day because most people spend time with their families on Sundays. Camp low realm populations. Low population and collector realms have less competition and lower prices. This is one of the best kept secrets for scoring rare listings. Add-ons like TSM can alert you when you have high value items show up. Some advanced setups even support sniping macros. Just remember, no automation or botting when you're using things like this. You're not going to win everything, so spend smart. Focus your gold on removed mounts like Swift Stullian Tigers or TCG exclusives or Plague Protodrakes, or items that are no longer sourced in the game, items that are removed from the game and can no longer be obtained other than Black Market Auction House. If a mount is still farmable, go farm it. Save your gold for things that are truly gone. You don't need to bid max gold every time. If you lose a mount, don't panic. It will come back. The Black Market Auction House rotates constantly, and it's here forever. Set a hard cap for yourself, whether that's 2 million gold, 5 million gold, or 10 million gold. Never go over your limit. Gold comes and goes, guys. The Black Market Auction House is a high stakes collecting. It's not for the faint of heart, but if you're chasing removed mounts, prestige transmog, or legacy toys and pets, it's one of the only ways left to get them. Because in World of Warcraft, sometimes the most valuable items aren't earned in raids. They're won at 3 AM bidding war against another obsessed collector who wants it just as bad as you do. One of the biggest challenges you'll face as a serious collector is staying organized. When you've got multiple alts, overlapping goals, and dozens of collectible to chase, every week it's easy to burn out if you're not tracking it properly. But here's the truth. Organization is everything. Whether you have 5 alts or 50 or a simple tracking system will multiply your efficiency and eliminate wasted time, guys. You don't need a fancy app. A simple Google Sheet or Excel file works perfectly. Here's what I recommend tracking each week. Short-term and long-term goals. Literally anything you want to get done. Cross them off as you complete them, right? Event rotations like Timewalking, trading posts, holidays, raid lockouts per alt or per expansion, mount farms, rare drops, Black Market Auction House timers, toys and pet rotation, rares, vendors, caches, currency goals, time ward badges, pet charms, trader charms, things like that. This routine works whether you're farming legacy content or pushing current metas, right? You can do things like Tuesday reset day, do your up-to-date relevant content, or run legacy raids, mop to Shadowlands, focus on mounts, tiers, removed appearances. Wednesday, time walking badge run, Q1 dungeon per tank alt, turn in quests, spend badges on high value toys, pets, mogs. Thursday, you can do choose one legacy zone, Suramar, Argus, Korthia, farm rares, farm quests, toys, warbound rep tokens in that area, right? You could do Friday, pet battles or PvP grind, level pets, do world quests, farm old honor sets. Saturday, dungeon and rep farm, run dungeons for toys, BOEs, Mog, finish off reps to turn-ins or Paragon boxes. Sunday, you could do flex, rest, or trading post cleanup, knock out missed objectives, rare spawns, or just reset and take some time off from WoW. Relax. The estimated time, right, could be 1 to 3 hours per day. It scales with your goals and gets more efficient as your collection narrows. Once you're ready to take it seriously, track lockouts per alts across all legacy raids. Add a tab for Black Market Auction House scanning and wins. Monitor seasonal events and trading posts and rotation timers. Set the monthly targets like finish all mob reputations, earn 4 rare mounts this month, cap 5 reputations to exalted. Once you're tracking, rotating, and farming efficiently, logging in every day on every alt and every minute starts to matter, guys. So what I do whenever I track my things, these are the things that I'm working on this season. So like this season, I'm trying to get 1800 in Blitz on every single class. So I'll write down everything that I have to do. And as I finish it, I'll cross it off, right? So things like that can help you stay on top of your game and prioritize and organize what you're doing in this game to make it more efficient and more effective. Add-ons are what separate casual collectors from true completionists. They streamline your gameplay, help you track everything effectively, and save you hundreds and even thousands of hours. In this section, I'll go over the exact add-ons I use, what they do, and how to use them properly. Keep in mind, guys, I'm going to be making a full in-depth video for add-ons, websites, and every single subsection on this guide on my channel to go in even more depth of everything that I have on this guide. The core completion add-on every collection should have are as follows. You want to have ATT called AllTheThings. This is a backbone of any collector's UI. This add-on is massive. Turn off during raiding or keys if you have a bad computer. This tracks everything. Mounts, pets, toys, titles, quests, recipes, achievements, even hidden things like druid forms or glyphs. Use it to filter by zone, character, expansion, or collectible type. ATT also shows tooltips with uncollected status and drop locations. So if you control left click and I go over here to this lore walking thing that I'm missing, I can hold down Alt and right click it and it'll give me a coordinate of where it is. Okay. Use the mini list overlay to track zone specific targets as you quest or farm. This will make this add-on much less overwhelming. Another add-on is called Can I Mog It? This add-on is gonna be very good for transmog farming. It has an icon to loot tooltips, bags, and vendors that tells you whether you've collected that transmog. Right, so if we go here, see how it has this different icon. The blue check mark, the green check mark means I've already completed on this account. The X, it means I don't have this appearance at all. Right, so I do not have this appearance at all. This means I have it, this means I have it. Now if we find another one, this one means that I'm still missing certain ID tips from this transmog. I have the item itself, right? I've learned it from another item, but I don't have this specific unique one. Okay, so this is very helpful if you're going for 100% transmog in the game or 100% items. Another thing is called an add-on called Faster Loot. This will automatically loot items faster than the default UI. This is a must-have for transmog and speed farmers. This cuts down looting time significantly. One add-on that I like to use is called Collectionator and Auctionator. These add-ons work together, okay? Collectionator and Auctionator. What these do is Auctionator scans your realm's auction house, and Collectionator cross-references what you're missing from your collection. Together, they show you which mounts, toys, pets, and appearances are buyable right now that you're missing. So if we go to the auction house and we go to the bottom right, we go to left-click Timewalking and scan, it'll start scanning and go through it. Another add-on we can use, guys, is called Rarity. This is going to track the rare mount and pet drops, and it's going to show you how many times you've killed and what your likely chance of getting that item on the next kill is. It shows drop chances, how many attempts you've made, and where to farm them. This is great for daily loops, event tracking, or rare spawn timers. Another add-on you can have is called AllTheThings. This tracks professions, currencies, mounts, and toys across all characters. This also helps prevent wasting time checking the same thing on different alts, right? So if you're running ICC on 25 different alts, you can use AllTheThings to check the lockout for ICC, right? Now going back to the Auctionator and Collectionator, we've finished scanning the auction house. So now we can see here that I have, this is going to list the items that I'm missing that I don't have in my transmog collection and people that have posted it on the auction house. So if I want to buy this item right here, I'd have to pay 60,000 gold. Then I can learn this. You could do this with pets, right? These are the pets that I'm missing. If I want to collect 3 out of 3 pets, I can filter that and I can buy these. I already have these pets, but I don't have 3 out of 3. Do toys. And do mounts, right? So if I want to buy the mounts that I'm missing, do recipes, right? Now you can filter these by recipes, whatever recipe you're looking for, right? Now this one is very hard to keep track of because it doesn't filter out which recipes you have already unless you're logged in on that character. So sometimes it can be a little confusing to find out what you're going for after what you're getting, because I already have all of these, every single one of these, but it still shows them. Another add-on we could use, especially if you're an alcoholic, is called Saved Instances. This is essential for weekly content like world bosses, old raid lockouts, and weekly mount attempts. You can also track time walking, bonus events, and weekly events. One very useful add-on for collectors is called Handy Notes, and the specific expansion that you're looking for. So what I mean by this is, if you download the add-on Handy Notes, it comes as 2 different parts. It comes as the main add-on itself, You can also go to CurseForge here and look it up. Type in handy notes. We have the add-on itself that we have to install, and then we have the different subsections. So for example, I can download Dragonflight, and I have Broken Shore, Argus, whatever. So if I go to Broken Shore or Argus, if I go to Broken Shores, Argus, it'll have skull icons of everything you're missing. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that many because I have all of these items, right? But it'll add a white skull icon if you already have the item, or a blue skull icon if you don't have the item. So you can filter in between, and you can right click and remove it if you want to. And it'll take it away if you've collected it, right? So this is very good for collectors if you're looking for anything in the zone and you want to know if you still need it or if you have it, right? It shows rares, treasures, mounts, pets, literally everything you're missing. Another add-on that you could use is called TomTom. This is a very simple coordinate add-on. And if you go on your map, it'll show your cursor and it'll show your specific coordinates at the top, and then on the left side it'll show you exactly where you are. Those are the coordinates of where you're standing. Often when you're using websites like Wowhead, you can use coordinates to track where you're trying to go to acquire something, right? Another thing that you can use, this is specifically good for expansions with world quests such as WoWthing, Shadowlands, or Broken Shores, right? Things that have world quests. It's called World Quest Tracker. World Quest Tracker. This is going to make world quests a lot more visible and a lot easier to read and track. And it's also going to put this list here at the top left of every single one that you want. And you can also specifically target whichever world quest you want based off what you're looking for. So if you mess around with the settings, you can also use add-ons like Rare Scanner or Silver Dragon to alert you of any time that there's a rare up spawning or near you. And then what you can do is when you find a rare that spawns, let's see if we can find one here, you can hold down control and left click and it'll take you to, so we found a treasure right here, right? So we're going to go after this one, Shimmery Opal. We hold down control and left click and it'll give us the coordinates of where it's at. So it'll take us right there. So now this one's under the cave, so I have to go all the way around to find it. One very useful add-on that I don't really see a lot of people use, and this is going to be a very, very big hack to collectors, is called WQ Achievements. What this add-on does is when you log in on a character, it scans, let's see, WQ Achievements, see if we can find the settings for it. What this add-on does is that when you log in on a character, it scans every single world quest in the game, and it tells you whether or not you're still missing that item. So what it's going to do is if you're missing, let's say, a toy from a world quest and you log in on your character, at the bottom left in your chat, it's going to say, hey, you're missing this item from this quest. Go get it. It's up right now. It's very important. You need to go get it, right? Another add-on is going to be Rematch plus Pet Battle Scripts. We've already gone over these, but I'll go into them again. These are used to import full teams from wowpetguide.com to help you with pet battles, and Pet Battle Script lets you auto-complete fights by pressing one key. Rematch stores saved teams, auto-loads your teams, and queues with specific strategies that you have saved, right? And also Pet Journal Enhanced. This will expand your Pet Journal UI. It's going to have better sorting option, filtering, and usability. It's ideal for large collections. Another add-on you can use is called Mini Button Map Reborn. This is going to collect all the add-ons, icons, clutter around your minimap and put them all nicely one button, and you can left click. Right now, what you can do if you want to put an icon back into it, you're gonna hold down control and right click, right? So it just disappeared. But if we want to put it back out there, you're gonna hold down again, control and right click again on any of these that you want to put on your main window. Okay, so it just keeps it nice and organized. It also adds a search filter, favorites, and more organized visuals, and it makes navigating a massively collection way easier. Set these add-ons up once, guys, and they'll save you thousands of hours throughout your WoW career. Now, keep in mind, there are hundreds and hundreds of add-ons that I have not mentioned that are useful. But these are the add-ons that I personally think that every single collector should have. In this section, I'm going to walk you through every major website I use as a World of Warcraft collector and exactly how to use each one of these to your advantage. These tools will save you thousands of hours, help you make smarter decisions, and keep your collection on track no matter your goals. The most essential WoW database is called Wowhead. You can look up any item you want, quest or achievement. You can read user-generated guides and comments for tips as well, right? Use filters to track collectibles like mounts, toys, or transmogs in here. So if we want to know more about this world store memory, we can go here and we can check out the criteria. It shows what achievements it has. We go to the comments and we see comments that are useful are usually highlighted in green or blue. Okay, and these are usually useful comments that you want to read that people post. Another website, obviously, yes, it's obvious, it's called YouTube. You can use this to look up video walkthroughs for rare spawns, hidden quests, or drop location, or any sort of guide that you want, right? And most secrets or event specific content has a visual guide here. Another thing is called Warcraft Secrets. This is dedicated to tracking all hidden and secrets in the game. This is great for long-term collectors chasing obscure content, right? So you can go here and check out any secrets that you want. It has every single one. So if we want to look for hidden achievements, we can click this and it'll break down every single achievement that is hidden that you can actually acquire yourself. Okay. Another thing is called Warcraft Pets. If you're into pet battling, this is a good one. It has information about every single pet battle in the game, tracks breeds, abilities, sources, and rarity. It's great for competitive pet collectors. Another pet one is called WoW-Pet Guide, the Zufu Pets Guides. You can just Google Zufu's Pet Guides. This site is insane for pet battle completionists. You can look up any world quest, pet battle, or trainer, and it includes top teams and custom scripts you can copy into game. Be sure to use this with the rematch and pet battle scripts add-ons. Another thing is the Super Squirt Day calendar. This is a public Google spreadsheet that tells you when Squirt Day happens. One of the best days to level pets fast with the bonus XP. WoW Professions is a step-by-step guide website to level every profession efficiently depending on the expansion. This helps you save gold and avoid wasting materials. Undermine Exchange can be used to track tradable items appearances on the auction house. It shows last item prices, region trends, and realm specific data. This is the perfect for the black market auction house sniping or rare transmog that you've been looking for, right? So I can look here, herbalism, right? And I can look up any item that has the word herbalism in it and it'll take a second to load. So for example, I still need this recipe and I can go down here, scroll all the way down and filter by price. And the cheapest one right now is 969,000 gold, and there's two of them on Tichondrius, right? So if I wanted to go buy this recipe, I would log in on Tichondrius and buy it with that gold. Another website is called Trade Skill Master. This is a very complicated add-on plus website duo, but it's very useful if you're looking for a specific item. You can use this website to have you get alerted when a specific item pops up on the auction house that you're chasing for. So if you're looking for specific speed gear for your speed set character, you can customize it to have it alert you whenever a speed item that you're looking for pops up. We also have the Wowhead Mount Guide. This is a fully in-depth Wowhead Mount Guide that has every single mount on here and how to collect it, where to get it, and what it costs. We have the fully in-depth title website here as well on Wowhead. And then we have the class-specific items guide on Wowhead as well. Another good website here is called Simple Armory. What we can do here is we can type in our realm and we can type in our character name and it'll pull up our account, and we can break down the overview of what we need and what we have. And we can go to achievements, sort them by achievements. We go to collectibles, mounts. If we're farming the collector's bounty mounts, you can click this show planner and it'll show you. I already have every single mount in the game, so it's not going to show me, but it can show you the most optimal route for achieving the collector's bounty mounts. Other than that, you can go expansion by expansion and see what you're missing, what mounts you're missing, and what mounts you have. But you can do this for toys, pets, heirlooms, companions, whatever. One of the biggest collectors websites is called Data for Azeroth. This website is going to show you a list of ranking for every single item in the game that is a collectible, and it's going to have its own rankings. So if we go here to the top right and we link our account with our BNet, it's going to show all of our characters. And what you want to do is you want to update all. Once you click update all, it automatically does this. You can close this page, do whatever you want, and we can click our character, and then it's going to show the rankings of our account and everything that is an actual ranking, but also other collectibles. If we want to go into even more depth here, we can break it down by either character, profession, stats, achievements, right? So if we go to mounts, if we go to titles, for example, it's going to show us every single title that we're still missing. So we're missing 3 more titles in the game that we have to get, which I'll eventually get playing the game. Or we can also filter by collected on alt, and this shows all the achievable titles in the game that you have or may not have. Another website which is not working right now for some reason, but it's called Completionism.net. It's pretty much the same thing as Data for Azeroth, except it doesn't have rankings. It just has a user-friendly, aesthetically pleasing UI to show you what you're missing and what you have on your account. We also have the Black Market Auction House items guides, which I'll have these linked in the description. If you're just starting to mess around with the Black Market Auction House, I suggest you read these 3 guides fully in depth to completely understand how these work and how to get things. Right? Another website we can use is called Raider.io. It's a very useful website for people that do Mythic Plus to see which comps are best. Right, so if we go here to Mythic Plus, we go to Time Run Leaderboards, it's going to show us the top teams that are timing keys. And generally speaking, these are usually the best classes in keys. So if you're trying to collect things in keys on certain characters and you want to do it on a healer, you know that the best healer in the game is a Disc Priest. So you do want to play a Disc Priest and push keys on a Disc Priest. So these websites are very useful and they're essential in your everyday life as a collector in World of Warcraft. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 99% of the player base. Because this wasn't just a guide about collecting. This was a guide about discipline, planning, and committing to a goal that only a tiny fraction of players ever achieve. As someone who's hit rank 1 in mounts across North America and rank 1 in titles worldwide, I've spent years grinding this game, learning what works and more importantly what doesn't. My goal is simple, to pass that knowledge on to you, right here on YouTube. I'm going to be releasing a dedicated video for each section of this guide, diving even deeper into the details with advanced tips, refined strategies, and cleaner step-by-step breakdowns to help you master every aspect of collecting in World of Warcraft. If I missed anything in this guide, whether it's a useful website, an add-on, a resource, or some advanced tech or tip you know that I did not know or mention, drop it in the comments below. I'll make sure to include it in a future update or cover it in one of my upcoming guides. If you found this guide useful, drop a like to support the video, subscribe so you don't miss on future breakdowns, and leave a comment with your questions. I read and reply to every single one of my comments across every single video I create. If you want to hang out, ask questions, or just chill while I grind in real time, I'm live almost every single day at twitch.tv/KillerKTV. Thanks for watching, keep grinding, and keep collecting.